Emeth, and to our Shabbat evening service. I welcome you here to the Rabbi Louis J. Siegel Sanctuary in Teaneck, New Jersey. If you're joining us on live stream this evening, Shabbat Shalom to you. I'm glad you're joining us virtually. The siddur that we will use this evening is Mishkan Tefillah. So if you have a copy of Mishkan Tefillah nearby, now is the time to get it and have it in hand for each and every song and prayer and page number of our service this evening. Also, if you're watching on live stream, I hope you'll take a moment right now to post something in the chat or the comment section of the live stream platform. It can be your name or your location or Shabbat Shalom. By posting any of these, others will see that you are there, and in this way we form bonds of virtual community together. And Shabbat Shalom to everyone who is here in the sanctuary in person. It's nice to see you. You can find your copy of Mishkan Tefillah in the slot right in front of your seat. And at this time, we turn in Mishkan Tefillah to page 120. On page 120 is where we find the blessing for our Shabbat candles, which is preceded by an English reading. And for the honor of Shabbat candles, we turn to Temple member Linda Postkanzer.
These lights are only flickering flames. Yet flames illumine our uncertain steps. Flames purify and renew, soften and refine. They brighten and make warm. Flames remind us of Sabbaths long past and of their beauty that delighted our hearts. May they inspire us to work for the great Sabbath of peace. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kitshanu b'mitzvotav v'tzivanu v'hadlik ner shel Shabbat.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam.
We continue now with our Kiddush for Shabbat evening, which is found on page 123, also preceded by an English reading. For the honor of leading us in the Kiddush, we call upon Temple member Arthur Lehrman. Please rise if you are able for the Kiddush.
As evening falls, we give thanks for the blessings of the past week, for life and strength, for work and rest, for home, love, and community. As we enjoy this bounty, may we be inspired to bring goodness into the lives of others. We raise a cup of wine in gratitude for the miracle of creation and for the gift of this day of rest.
Here.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen.
Amen.
Amen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, borei pri hagafen. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher קידשנו מצוותיו ורצוונו, ושבת קודשו יעקב רצון הנפילנו, זיכרון למעשה בראשית, קבעו יום תפילה למקראי קודש, זכר לציון מצרים, קיוונו בחרת ואותנו קידשת מכל העמים, ושבת קודשך באהבה וברצון קלקלתנו. ברוך אתה אדוני מקדש השבת. אמן.
L'chaim.
לחיים.
Okay, we'll take that from you. Shabbat shalom. Please be seated. Our opening song this evening is found in Mishkan Tefillah on page 128. So we turn at this time to page 128, and right in the middle of the page, we join together in singing Yedid Nefesh.
ידיד נפש ורחמן, ידיד נפש ורחמן, משוך עבדך אל רצונך, משוך עבדך לה 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 אל רצונך. ירוץ עבדך כמו יין, ישתחווה לה 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 אל מול נעריך. ידיד נפש ורחמן, ידיד נפש ורחמן, משוך עבדך אל רצונך, משוך עבדך לה 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 אל רצונך. ירוץ עבדך כמו יין, ישתחווה לה 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 אל מול נעריך.
This Shabbat, we begin the reading of the book of Deuteronomy, known in Hebrew as Devarim, and it is distinct in many ways from the first 4 books of the Torah. One of those ways is that it refers to Torah several times. In many translations, the word Torah is translated with a capital T for teaching. And it is likely, according to scholars, that when we read the word Torah in Deuteronomy, it is referring really to itself, only to the book of Deuteronomy, not to the full 5 books of Moses that we have come to call the Torah. And so with this emphasis on Torah, with this different definition of Torah, I thought that I would offer at this time a poem on the theme of Torah by poet Alden Solovey. The title of this poem is Autobiography. My Torah, my autobiography, is in truth the story of you. What joy you inspire in heaven when you grapple with my words, when you confront the contrasts and the dissonances, love and war, anger and mercy, creation and destruction, heroes and villains, artists and zealots, laws that make sense, laws that make no sense to you. My Torah, my autobiography, is in truth the story of us. We continue now with the Chatzi Kaddish, which is found in the Siddur on page 144. Amen. Please rise if you're able for Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu is found on page 146. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bidvaro ma'ariv aravim, b'chochma potech sha'arim, uvitvuna mishanei itim, umachalif et hazmanim, umisader et hakochavim b'mishmorotehem barakia kirtsono. Borei yom v'layla, golel or mipnei choshech, v'choshech mipnei or, uma'avir yom umevi layla, Umavdil ben yom uvein laila, Adonai tzivaot shemo. El chai v'kayam, tamid yimloch aleinu leolam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai, hama'ariv aravim. Wisdom and wonder, passion and instruction, story and symbol. All these things your Torah gives to us, and the more we devote ourselves to it, the more it grows and gives. What could be a truer token of your abiding love than this holiest of your works and the living language that gives it form? Baruch atah Adonai, Ohev Amo Yisrael. Please be seated. We continue on page 154 with Ve'ahavta.
ואהבת את אדוני אלוהיך בכל לבבך ובכל נפשך ובכל מאודיך, והיו הדברים האלה אשר אנוכי מצווך היום על לבביך, ושיננתם לבניך ודיברת בם בשבתך בביתך ובלכתך בדרך ובשוכבך ובקומך, וקשרתם לאות על ידיך וחיו לטוטפות בין עיניך, וכתבתם על מזוזות ביתך ובשעריך, למען תזכרו ועשיתם את כל מצוותיי והייתם קדושים לאלוהיכם. אני אדוני אלוהיכם אשר הוצאתי אתכם מארץ מצרים להיות לכם לאלוהים. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, אדוני אלוהיכם, אמן.
We turn now to page 157 as we join reading together at the top of the page. Standing on the parted shores of history, we still believe what we were taught before ever we stood at Sinai's foot, that wherever we go it is eternally Egypt, that there is a better place, a promised land, that the winding way to that promise passes through the wilderness, that there is no way to get from here to there except by joining hands, marching together.
כיפת אדוני את יעקב, וגאלו מיד חזק ממנו. ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל.
Amen. We turn to page 161 and we join together in English at the top of the page. Let there be love and understanding among us. Let peace and friendship be our shelter from life's storms. Adonai, help us to walk with good companions, to live with hope in our hearts and eternity in our thoughts, that we may lie down in peace and rise up waiting to do your will. Baruch atah Adonai, haporei sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim.
ושמרו ונהי
Our service continues now with the tefillah, which is found beginning on page 164 in the Siddur. Please rise if you are able for the tefillah.
Adonai, שפתי תפתח ופי יגיד תהילתך. Adonai, open up my lips, let my mouth may declare your praise. ברוך אתה, אדוני, אלוהינו ואלוהי אבותינו ואמותינו, אלוהי אברהם, אלוהי יצחק ואלוהי יעקב, אלוהי שרה, אלוהי רבקה, אלוהי רחל ואלוהי לאה, האל הגדול, הגיבור והנורא, אל עליון, גומל חסדים טובים וקונך הכל, וזוכר חסדי אבות ואימהות, ומביא גאולה לפני בניהם, למען שמו באהבה, מלך עוזר ומושיע ומגן. ברוך אתה אדוני, מגן אברהם ועזרת שרה. אתה גיבור לעולם אדוני, מחיה הכל אתה רב להושיע. מוריד אתה, מכלכל חיים בחסד, מחיה הכל ברחמים רבים. צומח נופלים ורופא חולים, ומציל אסורים, ומקיים אמונתו לשני עפר. מי כמוך בעל גבורות, ומי דומה לך, מלך ממית ומחיה, ומצמיח ישועה. ונאמן אתה לך חיות הכל, ברוך אתה אדוני, מחיה הכל. אתה קדוש ושמך קדוש, וקדושים בכל יום יעללוך סלע. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
You may be seated as we turn in the Siddur to page 177. We read together in the middle of the page, "When we behold your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and stars that you set in place, what are we humans that you are mindful of us, we mortals that you take note of us? You made us little less than divine, adorned us with glory and majesty. You gave us dominion over your handiwork, laying the world at our feet. How majestic is your name throughout the earth. Baruch atah Adonai, hatov shimcha, ulecha na'eh lehodot." We turn now to page 178 as we join in singing a prayer for peace. We join together now in Shalom Rav.
שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. כי אתה מלך אדון לכל השלום. כי אתה מלך אדון לכל השלום. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. וטוב בעיניך לברך את עמך ישראל, בכל עת ובכל שעה בשלומך. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם. שלום רב על ישראל עמך, תשים לעולם.
We take a moment now for Tefillat Halev, a moment to offer to God the prayers of our hearts. Inspirational readings for this time are found in the Siddur on pages 180 and 181. We continue our service now with our service for the reading of the Torah, Seder Kriyat Torah, which is found in the Siddur beginning on page 363. Assemble the people, men, women, and children, and the strangers in your cities, to hear, to learn, to revere Adonai your God, to observe faithfully the words of this Torah, and let their children who do not yet know it hear, that they too may learn to revere Adonai your God. We continue on page 362. Oh, no, it looks page 364 this time. In the middle of the next page, please rise as we sing Se'u Sha'arim. The scroll is the secret of our people's life from Sinai until now. Its teaching is love and justice, goodness and hope. Freedom is its gift to all who treasure it.
Shema Yisrael,
seated. As I mentioned earlier in the service, this week's Torah portion is Parshat Devarim. It is the first Torah portion in the book of Deuteronomy, and it means that we've pretty much reached midsummer if we've reached Parshat Devarim. The beginning of Devarim is, it's the setting, saying that these are the words that Moses offered to the children of Israel as they were on the edge of the Jordan River and the edge of the land of Israel. But also, this is a chance for Moses to recount the history of the people, really from his perspective. It does not always match the perspective of the part of the first 4 books of the Torah that he's referring to, but he's been there to witness these 40 years of history, so he recounts them for them because they've got to know their history to be a fully fledged nation in their own land, which is going to be happening very shortly after his death. So we're going to pick up with this part of this history. Morris Sobel is going to be chanting from Deuteronomy chapter 1, beginning with verse 11, which is found on page 1317 here in the sanctuary, in the large blue Torah commentary books, page 1317. And if you are watching on live stream and you have a copy of the revised Torah commentary, you can find the same section in the revised Torah commentary on page 1162, page 1162. And this is the part where Moses makes the first of many references about how difficult it was to bear the burden of leading the Israelites and how he needed help, and he turned to others for help along the way because leading the Israelites was not a job that any one person could do on their own. So now you can follow along, and also in honor of her significant birthday, the honor of the Aliyah goes to Temple member Roxanne Guinness, and we're ready. Come on up. Okay. Let Morris find his place.
Yes,
Put your hand right there, Roxanne. And
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamvarach Leolam Va'ed. Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu michol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch Atah Adonai noten ha'torah.
Amen. Here we go. Adonai Elohei Avotechem Yosef Aleichem Kechem Elef Pamim Vayavorech Etchem Kasher Diber Lachem Eicha Isa Levado Torachechem Umasha'achem Urivechem Havu Lachol Anoshim Chachamim Unevonim Vidium Lishiftechem Va'asimam Beroshechem Vitanu Oti V'tomeru tov hadaber asher dibarta la'asot.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'chayei olam natan betochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten ha'torah. Thank you so much.
okay, Morris, you can have a seat right there. Roxanne, don't leave. We're going to bless you. Cantor, come on over. Stay right here. We'll put a hand on the Torah. I'd put the other hand on the Torah. Okay, here we go. Roxanne, it is a pleasure to offer a blessing in honor of your birthday. You express your love of Judaism by coming to services frequently and lifting your voice in song. You are present at so many of our cultural and community events, sharing how your Jewish journey was and remains an important part of your perspective. You are a valued member of the congregation, and in the presence of your congregational family, Cantor Dubinsky and I would like to offer this blessing. May God bless you and keep you. May God's light shine down upon you, and may God be gracious to you. May God's Spirit lift you up, and may God give you shalom, the gift of peace, now and always. And let us say,
Amen.
Amen. Well, you're welcome. Well, Roxanne is sponsoring the oneg. She's giving us sweets later, but you know, the
Is it the
traditional.
flavor I like?
don't know.
Yes,
Okay,
cherry.
It's
I mean-
cherry. All right. Well,
Who doesn't like cherry?
Thank you
So.
all for coming. It really means a lot.
please
to
join me in wishing Roxanne Mazel Tov. You can have a seat right behind us.
Yep.
This time our thoughts turn to those in need of healing as we prepare to offer a mishaberach for healing found in the Siddur on page 371. If you are thinking of someone in need of healing and you are watching on live stream, I invite you to share the name of your loved one in the chat or the comment section of the live stream platform. And here in the sanctuary, if you're thinking of someone in need of healing, I invite you to share the name of your loved one out loud or in your heart at this time. You think of those whose lives and routines were disrupted because of the smoky air this week in our area and in many parts of the country. We think of those who were injured in the terrible floods in Texas this week. As we think, as always, of those whose lives have been upturned by natural disaster, terrorism, war, and acts of random violence. We think of them along with our temple members and their loved ones whose names will appear on your screen, either on live stream or in the corner of the sanctuary, as we turn now to page 371 in the Siddur, and we join together in singing the mishaberach. We continue this time with the lifting and dressing of the Torah, found at the bottom of page 370. Please rise if you are able for Hagba and Galila.
ששם משה
We remain standing as we prepare to return the Torah to the Ark. We turn in the Siddur to page 374. Yahalalu et Shem Adonai ki niskab shemo levado.
Adon eretz v'shamayim vayarem keren le'amo v'chila lekol chasidav livnei Yisrael am kerovo. Hallelujah, hallelujah. כי לכתוב נתתי לכם תורתי, אל תעזובו עץ חיימי, למה חזיקים בה ותומכיה מאושת דרכיה דרכנו וכל נתיבותיה שלום אשיבנו אדוני אליך ונשובה קודש קודש ימינו קודש ימינו
Please be seated. Well, during the summertime especially, we like to take some time to give our temple members the opportunity to offer a Dvar Torah, a chance to interpret the Torah portion. And Morris is obviously qualified. He already read from the Torah portion. And so Morris Sobel is now going to offer a Dvar Torah on Parshat Devarim.
Thank you, Rabbi. Shabbat Shalom, everyone. Shabbat Shalom. Words. This is the translation of the word Devarim, the book of Deuteronomy. This week, we read the first Parsha, which starts off, "These are the words which Moses spoke." Basically, the volume is a retelling of the journey leading to the eventual settlement of the freed slaves before crossing over the Jordan to settle the promised land, as told in Moses' own words, and his perspectives of the journey. I chose these verses to chant because they allow us to examine the problems of having one leader for a diverse and large population, and a solution using a fair and reasonable system. These verses bravely state the basis of a complex leadership issue and Moses' action in response. Firstly, Moses blesses the people, invoking God's promise of increase and blessing. And the next verse is, "How can I bear alone the trouble, your burden, and your strife?" This is the Eicha verse, which I'll discuss again tomorrow, but I also tried to make it in a little bit of a different trope, which matches the verses in Lamentations, which is read on Tisha B'Av. And the next is his solution. He said, "Select from each of your tribes men who are wise, discerning, and experienced, and I will appoint them as your heads." The people respond, "What you have proposed is good." So they accepted it. These issues still perplex nations today. Moses acknowledges the blessing of the growth of the Israelites, and also he sees that growth continuing. As they populate the land, he blesses them for continued expansion of their numbers. Moses also vividly expresses his frustration with governing a sometimes unruly congregation. He expounds 3 issues that weigh heavily on his shoulders: their trouble, their burden, and their strife. and sometimes he calls the trouble, some translations call it cumbersome. Exodus describes Jethro's solution. However, here in Devarim, Moses says that he set up the system of judges and solution solvers. However, the social justice system that is constructed here is a good one, as the congregation sees it favorably. It is good for several reasons. Each tribe is represented and gets to choose their judges. That way, each tribe can have a say in the solving of issues presented. The men need to be wise, discerning, and experienced. Notice what's absent: wealthy, powerful, well-connected, priestly, or of noble lineage. The criteria are entirely merit-based and relational, not hereditary or class-based. In a social context, for what's happening in the Near East, where leadership was almost universally tied to birth, property, or military prowess. This is a remarkably egalitarian standard. From a reform perspective, the implication is that genuine communal leadership should be drawn from those with demonstrated wisdom, emotional intelligence, and authentic rootedness in the community, not those with the most money, the most prestige, or inherited position. This speaks directly to conversations about representation, access to power, and who gets to lead in congressional and civic life. There is the idea that the community is also responsible for governing the nation. The burden cannot fall on just one individual and expect to carry the whole nation. The people from each tribe get to choose their representatives, and then there is consent of the governed. This is co-responsibility of the community to share in helping the leaders make decisions. This is true for both civic and congregational leadership. Our temple has a good leadership system that is favorable to our needs. Besides a committed board, we have great volunteers on many important committees to keep things running smoothly. Also, we have our congregants who will lend a hand as needed. Perhaps we will get the blessing of the continued growth of our congregation. Shabbat Shalom.
Yashikoch Morris, thank you for sharing those words about leadership, connecting them to the book of Deuteronomy. We appreciate it. And look forward to another Dvar Torah tomorrow morning. We appreciate that too, in advance. Our service continues at this time with the prayer for the state of Israel, which is found in the Siddur on page 552. Please rise if you are able for the prayer for the state of Israel. Avinu Shabashamayim, Tzur Yisrael v'goalo, Barech Medinat Yisrael Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu. Hagen aleha be'evrat chastecha, ufros aleha sukat shlomecha, ushlach orcha v'amidcha le'bersheha soreh v'yoetzeha, v'takneim be'ita tova milfanecha, v'natata shalom ba'aretz, v'simchat olam liyoshveha, v'nomar. Amen. O Heavenly One, Protector and Redeemer of Israel, bless the state of Israel, which marks the dawning of hope for all who seek peace. Shield it beneath the wings of your love. Spread over it the canopy of your peace. Send your light and truth to all who lead and advise, guiding them with your good counsel. Establish peace in the land and fullness of joy for all who dwell there. Amen. We remain standing at this time for the Aleinu, which is found in the Siddur on page 586. We direct our attention to the bottom of the page for Aleinu.
אנחנו כל הקדוש ברוך הוא. ונאמר והיה אדוני למלך בארץ ביום ההוא יהיה אדוני אחד ושמו
Please be seated. Our service continues on page 595 with a reading to introduce the Mourner's Kaddish. There are stars up above, so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us as we live our days. These are the ways we remember. This Shabbat, we remember those for whom we're in the Shloshim, 30-day period of mourning. Sheila Polishuk, a member of Temple Emeth. Stephen Danitz, brother of Robert Danitz. Bud Geisenheimer, a member of Temple Emeth and husband of Roberta Geisenheimer. Karen Cantor, aunt of Eileen Anasini. And Helene Lexner, a sister of Elliot Steinberg. We remember as well those whose yard sites occurred this week: Anne Antonoff Breakstone, Lieber Atlas, Flip Bernard, Eve Blattel, Judy Bick, Diane Carol Cantor, Julian Jerome Case, Cynthia Chaliff, Fanny K. Clacko, Elliot Dubno, Ruth Dukoff, Abraham Friend, Frank Friedman, Harold H. Goldberg, Nason Gordon, Leo Hopfan, Adolf Lukowitz, Ruth Litwin, Minna Motz, Egon Nissen, Etta Peck, Jeffrey Rellis, Shirley Schaefer, Marcel Singer, Charles Sobel, Philip Schub Sosland, Devorah Zuckerman, Stuart Weinberg, Molly Will, and Joel L. Zatz. And we remember the names of 6 of the 6 million who perished in the Holocaust: Regina Buzian of Poland, age 26, Yitzhak Bunim of Belgium, age 52, Michal Bernberg of Poland, age 26, Yuri Berger of Hungary, age 23, Samuel Berlin of Austria, age 39, and Fega Blank of the Soviet Union, age 73. We remember them all. We take them into our hearts with our own as we turn now to page 598. Please rise if you are able, as together we recite the life-affirming words of the Mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei Rabbah, be'alma divrach yirutei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon v'yomechon v'chayei d'chol beit Yisrael, ba'agala v'yizman kariv v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shmei Rabbah Mivorach Leolam Ulalmei Almaya. Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh. V'yithadar v'yit'aleh v'yithalal Shemei D'Kudsha B'rechu. Le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata. Tushbechata v'nechemata. Da'amiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. Yehei Shlama Rabbah min Shemaya. V'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael, v'imru, amen. May the source of peace and peace to all who mourn, and comfort to all who are bereaved, and let us say, amen. Please be seated. It is my pleasure this time to call upon Hildy Dillon, a member of our Board of Trustees, to offer Shabbat greetings and announcements.
Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. On behalf of the Board of Trustees, it's my pleasure to welcome you to our Shabbat evening service. Please join me tonight at a special oneg sponsored by Roxanne in celebration of her birthday. Mazel Tov. Happy birthday. Join Rabbi Serbu and other temple members to discuss the cover story of the previous week's Jewish Standard and other notable news with a new class called Cover Story with Rabbi. We'll meet on Zoom next Tuesday, July 21st at 7:30 p.m. The Social Action Committee invites the Temple Emeth community to join Rabbi Serbu and members of other New Jersey Reform synagogues for a Tisha B'Av observance at Delaney Hall in Newark on Wednesday, July 22nd at 8 p.m. Together, we will bear witness, pray for dignity and compassion, and reflect on the ancient themes of Tisha B'Av. Please see me after services if you would like to attend or need to carpool. Or you can click on the link in your weekly email if you plan to attend and would like to carpool. Temple Emeth is a co-sponsor of the Bergen Biachad Tisha B'Av Unity Concerts on Thursday, July 23rd at the Teaneck Jewish Center. Rabbi Serbu will be among the rabbis offering commentary at this evening of song and connection with the Bergen County Jewish community. Doors will open at 5:50 p.m. and the program begins at 6:05. Advance registration is required. Please see your weekly email or flyers in the lobby for more information. Next Friday, July 24th, we'll join our friends with Temple Sinai for prayers on the Palisades. We'll meet at the State Line Lookout for a pre-service oneg at 6 p.m., followed by a Shabbat evening service at 6:30. Join us for dinner at Sandan Turkish Restaurant in Cresskill following the program. You can register online for both at the Temple Emeth website. One of the ways we support one another is by gathering in a house of mourning for Shiva. Many congregants have found comfort following a loss by having a Shiva minyan in their home. While the clergy try to lead these prayer services, they rely on volunteers from time to time. If you'd like to be a Shiva minyan leader or are already one and you want a refresher, please join Rabbi Serbu and Cantor Dubinsky on Wednesday, August 5th at 7:30 p.m. Finally, as the general election nears, the Social Action Committee invites you to join RAC New Jersey's Every Voice, Every Vote effort to reach low-propensity voters. We will write postcards on August 25th, September 29th, and October 6th. These are all Tuesdays in the afternoon. Registration is required so we can order supplies and provide refreshments. See your weekly email for more information. Thank you to this evening's volunteers in the live stream room. Marcia and Morris Sobel are at the controls tonight. Morris is here and he's there. So, and I just wanted to comment that Morris's Devar Torah about leadership tonight really resonates. Marcia Sobel, we had her first board meeting this week, last night, as our new board president. And it reminds me of how this is a very humble group that brings great humility to the role that we have. We take it very seriously. And we love for you to tell us what you think, what you would like to see improve at Temple, and to stay involved. I'm looking at the people here in the room. I don't know who's on live stream tonight, but most of us started by getting involved in a committee. So I really recommend for those of you that are not involved in a committee right now, you may have been in the past, and for those of you that are on committees, to keep that going, because that's how we strengthen our community. As you can see, we have a lot going on, and that's because of the great community that we have here. So if you're new to the temple, or if you just want to chat, come see me at the Oneg, and Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom.
Thank you, Hildy. Thank you also to Morris Sobel for chanting Torah and for offering the Devar Torah. Thank you to Cantor Dubinsky for leading us in song and accompanied as always. Thank you to our accompanist, Thomas Dascio. Our closing song this evening is found on page 188 of Mishkan Tefillah, page 188. We join in singing Hine Matov.
הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. 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 הנה מה טוב ומנעים, שבת אחים גם יחד.
We have reached the conclusion of our service. If you've been watching on live stream, it's your last chance to post something in the chat or comment section of the live stream platform. It can be a Yasher Koach to Morris Sobel, it can be a Mazel Tov to Roxanne Guinness on her birthday, or it can simply be the words that we in the sanctuary share with one another at this time. As we conclude our service, we turn to one another and say, Shabbat Shalom.